Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as a Florida Stoneman, and today I'm going to be talking to you about a very interesting topic, and it kind of picks up on the topic that I taught last time, which is what is spirituality? Now there's a song that really I've been seeing just freely passed around TikTok, and it was slipping messages into a generally good song that are not good, and people were just accepting them because if you take a whole bunch of truth and you take some of the worst mistruths and you slide them in with each other, they're gonna fit nice and smooth. I call it a mistruth sandwich. So basically you have an entire sandwich of everything that's good, and then just the poison in the center of the sandwich, and you take a bite and it kills you because all you needed was this much poison to really kill off what your spirituality really is. And that's what spirituality is being presented as. This is the problem with spirituality these days. People are really just not putting it together about what spirituality truly is. Now, people ask me, are you physical? Are you spiritual? I'm like, aren't I both? Aren't I not? Isn't this just flesh? And when I go into the next world, I take my spirit with me. Like, people don't understand. There's the concept of people being overly spiritual is a very big problem. The concept of people being overly physical is one thing. You'll see that in the gym. You'll see that in LA Fitness. You'll see that in general. Overly spiritual is another thing as well. There's people out here who you can't treat one without treating the other. I'll tell you that right now. Now, I have seen this happens to people very often. So when someone has something that's physically wrong with them, doctors might not be able to find it. This actually happens to a lot of people, and it's really horrible. The person will think it's 100% spiritual. They won't look at the physical, or when people on the physical side, because this actually works in full reverse. When someone has cross conditions, they'll think it's something 100% physical when it's actually something spiritual. And if you actually pay attention on the two sides of the spectrum, both are really dangerous because you're not treating both of them. We are actually 50-50. We're spirit and flesh. We're literally in this flesh inhabiting this earth. And what it means to be spiritual, it means, for me, when you ask me, are you spiritual? I'm like, I'm spiritual and I'm physical. I do the workouts, I go to the gym, I lift weights, I'm healthy. Because guess what? If you're unhealthy, you're going to throw your chakras off. If you're eating things that are killing you, if you are intaking things that are killing you, all your chakras will be off. And it doesn't matter how many spiritual exercises you do to balance your chakras. It doesn't matter how much meditation you do. If you put in some poison in you, remember the anatomy. Remember the analogy? Analogy. Cool, I'm done tripping on words now. The analogy of tripping on... I'm so focused on not tripping on words in this video, but... the analogy of the poison sandwich. So with the poison sandwich, like I said, you ingest something, a little bit has to kill you, it could hide in a whole bunch. That's actually what spirituality has become these days. You have to focus on the physical, you have to focus on the spiritual. You can't just focus on one or the other because it's not how it works. It's like trying to focus on walking, but you're doing it with one foot versus doing it with both feet. Just because you're able to step with one foot doesn't mean you're not supposed to walk with both feet. Same thing with being physical, and same thing with being spiritually. And I see this in the gym very often. I go to LA Fitness. I go to the gym. I do have to say this because it's what I see on a daily basis. Several men in the gym do not treat their spirituality. What does that mean? So basically, if you're just physical, if you're just focused on the earthly things, you'll never feel a full fulfillment. You'll feel like you're just going through the motions, which a lot of people do when they feel like they're going to the gym. People will try to switch up certain workout routines. People will try to switch different things up, and they feel a certain emptiness, and they think it's because of the workouts. They think it's just because they have to switch it up. The fulfillment comes from the soul. You're just working out your body, but your body is literally holding what you are. So yes, it's a hobby. Yes, it's nice. Yes, it's good for the mind. But if you're not treating the spirit, then you're going to be empty. I'll tell you this right now because I made this a point in my last video. The imbalance of the law of gender basically states that, which is a spiritual law, if you're not perfectly balanced with your masculine and your feminine, you're not going to be balanced. Everything will be messed up. If you don't believe me, basically our bodies are divided into masculine and feminine. The feminine is on the heart side, which this is my heart side, and the masculine is on the right side. Now, if you've ever been in a point where you've just had all these different imbalances, you probably might have there's a giant chance, and there's actually a chart and different things you can look up online as to what it means to have a masculine and feminine imbalance. Now, what does that come from? It comes from being overly physical. So if you're just doing the physical things, if you're just doing weights, if you're just doing this, and you're just treating the masculine aspects of yourself, and you're not trusting your intuition, you're not really going within yourself, you're not really working on yourself from within, you're neglecting the feminine, you're neglecting your intuition, you're neglecting nurturing, you've gone cold. You have to treat the physical and the spiritual both. So a lot of people I see at the gym, they're just treating the spiritual. I mean, imagine that. They're just treating the physical, and they're feeling hollow and empty. A lot of people will try to cover it up. I do like to help people. I'm like, okay, you should probably work with them. Like, you should probably work with some of these stones. They're going to help you. They're going to help. A lot of jaspers help people who are in need of nurturing. It's just a fact. I'm going to make an entire video on what it means to have a masculine and feminine balance. It actually has nothing to do if you're a man or a woman. We all need to have an equal balance, or else it'll create blockages in our heart chakra, and it'll stop abundance. It'll stop flows of just love. It'll stop everything. It'll stop your blessings from coming in, and you're going to actually have some in the Chinese medicine system, and no, I'm not a medical doctor, this is a disclaimer, but in the Chinese medical system, you can look it up. You can look up, there's a whole chart online, what happens when you have balances with, like if you have too much masculine, for an example, you're more likely to have depression. I'm not going to explain the whole chart online. I might in a future video, but another thing with too much masculine is like problems with sleep, for example. It's just different things that kind of translate over. Because keep in mind, if you're putting too much weight on one side of the body and not on the other side of the body, you're just off kilter. You're off balance, and you're really gonna feel it, and it's not gonna go away until you treat it. So that's one of the things it means to be spiritual. Now let me get into the other aspect of this video, because this is what this video is really about. Because I really do have to talk to you guys what it means to be spiritual. It means to basically challenge your energy, challenge your mindset, don't blame things outside yourself, align yourself, take care of the physical, have a perfect balance. It's all about balance. It's all about harmony. If you're just being overly spiritual, and let me talk about that right now. Hollywood has really tainted spirituality. Now, if you're someone who runs around burning sage, and I'm not making fun of you because this has been taught, it's like burn sage, chant in your house, and that's spirituality. People are being taught so wrong, and I'm not making fun of people, because this is a majority of people. Some people burn sage 24/7, and they think that's what it means to be spiritual. It's really sad. You've been mistaught. I have a whole entire video on what sage actually does and how to use it right. Being spiritual, I mean, yeah, that's a start. You burn sage because you feel a connection to your spirituality, and it's something that has been taught to you. But to truly connect to your spirituality, you have to go within. It's not sage. Sage doesn't even cleanse your house. Watch the video if you're actually... It's about a 30 to 40 minute video about what sage really does and how it doesn't really cleanse your house unless you use it correctly, and how it can actually be used against you. It can backfire. How can it backfire? Because if you don't know what you're doing, it's actually a conjuring tool. It helps you conjure help to get rid of things that are in your house. That's not actually how you cleanse your house either. You have to cleanse from the ground up, and you have to secure the corners, and there's I have another video on how to secure your household. I don't hold anything back from teaching you guys. If you guys truly deserve knowledge, you truly deserve to be empowered, you truly deserve to be spiritually free from bonds. If you pay attention on my YouTube channel, I teach straightforward advice that no one else is teaching, because people truly believe if I cap this information, people will have to come to me and buy, like, just basically, why am I going to teach someone a protection, how to protect their house when they can see me, because I'm a psychic, and I can put a protection over them for about a few weeks that they'll have to come back to me around the first of the month. No. Those psychics rip you off. A lot of those psychics, when you try to protect yourself, they'll be like, stay away from the black tourmaline, stay away from the protections, they're too strong, they're gonna keep your spirits away. No, they're gonna keep your spirits away. That's a giant red flag. If anyone ever tells you does not use black tourmaline, you better run. You better look at them straight in the eye and be like, thank you for exposing yourself. Run. If the person doesn't want you being protected, run. Run. It means they're trying something that's not working. Your guys, they give you the information. They're like, this person's trying to get over on you. It's a little bit obvious. We're gonna see if you actually recognize what it is. Another thing, but back to the topic of this video, because there's many topics within this one topic. The thing about what it means to be spiritual is to actually research what's inside of you. What does that mean? What do you mean? Well, I thought Sage was good. Okay, no. Check my video on Sage. I mean, here's how you look inside of you. Here's what you do. Study the chakras. It's not taught. It's not taught in schools. It should be taught in schools, at least in America, but look at energy centers. Start with the root chakra and study the chakras going up. It'll help you really understand what's inside of you. Once you learn the 7 chakras, that's only the beginning. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to push too much knowledge. You have to know what's inside of you. You literally have energy centers spinning. It's just spinning inside of you. And how you perceive reality is based on what you're feeling in your mind, which the chakras heavily affect the mind, especially the crown chakra, which is your higher link cord. If your chakras are off, everything else will be off. Your relationships will be off. How you feel will be off. You'll feel depressed. You'll feel anxious. You'll be just not yourself. You're not gonna know what you want to do in life. You're not gonna feel your life path. You're not gonna know anything because you're just completely off kilter. So what it means to be really spiritual is to nurture yourself, confront the blockages by learning the chakras. In each chakra, you learn a blockage. Whatever, like, all my chakras are blocked. Well, don't claim that. Just claim that the energy that you're unblocking them, and then you'll learn about. I'll teach you how to unblock your chakras in the next few videos. In this video, it's very general. You meditate, and it helps clear the chakras. If it's more complex, then I'll make a more complex video for that. But one thing you can do as well for unblocking the chakras is you can hop in the ocean. It's a very simple way. These are just 2 really simple ways. If you don't have that, take a sea salt bath. Sea salt bath, it's going to help you. I'm going to make another video about talking about how to unblock all the chakras. Very easy. The easiest way is crystals. They're literally on autopilot. How much easier can it get? But what it means to be spiritual, not watching 3 seasons of American Horror Story and thinking that you can astral project or astral travel. That's not how it works. You guys need to do everything else but astral travel when it comes to opening your gifts, or you're really going to get hurt. How are we going to get hurt astral traveling? Because there's a giant rule book to it, which I'm thinking about making either in the future a course on how to actually astral travel and how to do it correctly, because there's a thick rule book on how to do it correctly. And you better follow it perfectly, or you'll come back. You might not fully come back. You might come back and this has happened to some of you. You've just felt like an out-of-body experience for 6 to 8 months. And sometimes it never goes away. Like, you'll have a permanent out-of-body experience. It's because you didn't astral travel right. The conditions in your room weren't right. Your connection to your spirit guides weren't right. Sometimes you connected with the wrong guide. It really depends, but that's why you just don't do things that you don't know what you're doing. Now, if you want to open gifts, talk to God. Ask him, God, please reveal my natural gift set. I would like to know where I should start. I like to be able to talk to my guides and fully expect when you go to when you meditate, just be like, they're not talking to me. No, they're talking to you, but they're not going to be dramatic. I mean, like, when you're first listening to your angels by yourself, when you're first listening to guides by yourself, they're talking. You better pay attention, because you can untrain yourself out of hearing them right when you start talking to them, but just pay attention. And you're going to be able to hear them. You'll be able to fully hear them after a certain point of whenever it's right for you, whenever it's in God's timing, because God knows you're going to ask for the gifts, so he knows the perfect timing to open them up fully for you. Now, crystals are a wonderful way to tap into your spirituality. But what does that mean? Why do we use crystals? It's to really create change in our realities by affecting ourselves and changing the world around us. What did I say that spirituality was? It's nurturing our chakras. It's taking care of the physical. It's taking care of the spiritual. All the chakras have to do with the physical and spiritual. You can look up different chakra charts online, physical imbalances, spiritual imbalances, etc. this video, if you've not fully studied the chakras, I would like you to study the 7 chakras. If you already know them, start studying the micro chakras, and the information is not very openly online, so you're gonna have to put some conclusions together. So basically, what's a micro chakra? I thought there was 7. In every chakra, every one of our 7 chakras, we have at least 21 micro chakras and a whole bunch more. It can get a little confusing after that, but it's easy when you reference it to stones, for example. The heart chakra has the green side and the pink side. The root chakra has the red side, the grayish side, the black side, the brown side, which is more the abundance side. Ooh, abundance and the root chakra? Yeah. I'll make future videos on that, how brown crystals can be used to attract wealth and abundance and promote strength and security at the same time. There's so much information now online that I'm very happy to teach you guys. If you're watching my channel, it's actually a very good sign that you're on the right track for your spirituality, because I teach you guys how to reach up there, move closer to God, how you can move closer to your angels, how you can really start on spirituality the right way. Nothing I'm saying is going to be very popular with some of you, but it's going to be the most helpful to some of you. Like I said with sage, put the sage down. If you don't know what you're doing, stop burning it. You're going to make havoc, drama. Some of you already have gotten the bad feeling to stop burning the sage. Some of you have overridden that feeling, and you just do what you want out of ego and out of, because it's what you know, and versus there's like 100,000 other things you can burn. I put that in the sage video as well. You can burn rosemary, you can burn frankincense and myrrh. Like, these things are more effective than sage, especially if you're a woman burning rosemary and you go out into the world. You're going to have Beyonce energy. People are going to look at you like a superstar. And you want to burn sage, but you didn't know what it does. If you're a man and you burn something like, what's a good one? If you burn, what's it called? The petals of calendula or marigold, and you go out into the world, people are going to look at you like a rock star. People are going to be like, hi. People are going to be so happy when they see you. Why is that? It's because it purifies your aura. Your aura is clean. Most of you, if you don't work with crystals, you probably have some kind of energy, negative energy in your field, unless you're doing constant spiritual baths, which Eve the Medium teaches on her channel. But what does it mean to be spiritual? And yeah, check out Eve the Medium. She's absolutely wonderful. She's the most authentic medium I've ever seen anywhere. I've seen so many mediums, and the ones in public, even the famous ones, some of them have fell off. Some of them are not doing right. And that's all I'm going to say. Eve the Medium's the best medium you can ever come across. Check out her YouTube channel. Check out her TikTok. She's absolutely wonderful. She's on Instagram too. That's the only medium I'll ever vouch for, because coming from where I've seen hundreds of mediums. It's very easy to be tempted with darkness. When you fall to darkness, you fall to it, but when you catch yourself, that's basically you. Because you're going to fall, things will get worse and worse and worse and worse. You'll have promises of power and promises of what the power is going to help you do, but it doesn't bring you any fulfillment. Whenever you achieve something through darkness, which you won't make any real achievements, you'll just go kind of down with like a temporary high, a down, a temporary high. That's how it goes until you really learn. So don't be dark when it comes to spirituality as well. If you think doing some kind of black candles on someone, you think that's going to work out with you, look what happens to the people who do the worst of curses. They don't last long, because their curses are literally sent back to them by more than one angel. Let's just say that when people have angels happen to them, they have multiple. An angel does not come in one. They come in a large batch. Now, this video is just touching upon different things about what spirituality is. It's about balance. Essentially, it's about balance between the physical and the spiritual, and really taking care of yourself and nurturing yourself, because a lot of people just don't believe. If you don't believe, you're backstabbing your spirituality already. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!